to a new vlog. If you're new here, hi, my name's Leandra and I am a 1L, a first year student at Duke Law School, and this is going to be my law school morning routine. The last time I did this video or did this type of video was when I was, I think, a junior or a sophomore in undergrad, so it feels a little weird. Then I woke up at 6 and now I'm waking up at 5, so we've stepped it up a notch. But yeah, welcome to this video. It is 5:15. For those of you who don't know, obviously I said I would go to Duke Law School, and it is in North Carolina and I am in Washington, so there is a time zone difference. So my first class actually starts at 6 a.m. so I have to wake up a little early to do my prep, and I woke up a little bit earlier today so that I could talk to you guys and film and do all of that stuff. Today is one of the 3 days that I have my doctrinal classes, which is just basically my core classes: criminal law, civil procedures, and contracts, and actually in that order. So we're gonna start this morning off with criminal law. I would usually make coffee right now, but I don't have any milk, and there's a coffee stand about 3 to 6 minutes away from me that I want to go buy coffee at today, so I'm gonna save it. I actually went to sleep pretty early yesterday, so I feel pretty good. So we have some natural energy working for us. I figured I would just take you guys through my morning class prep, because last video was my one day in my weekend class prep, but I do like a review in the mornings, and I usually do wake up in the mornings early so that I can do that review. So I guess I'll just take you guys through that right now. So this is like my designated study corner by this giant window. For those of you who have never seen any of my Washington vlog videos before, I like to sit by this giant window because obviously the sun has not risen yet. I don't know if the moon is still out, but the sun has not risen yet. So I like to watch the sunrise through the window, and it rises over the mountains, and it's gonna be really pretty. I'll show you guys, but that's why I like this spot. But I have my things out for this first class. My best friend, usually doing note taking and also doing review, is obviously the syllabus. The syllabus tells you so much. I got that advice from some upperclassmen, and it's been really helping me. So usually, obviously, the titles right here, as you guys can see, tells you what you're supposed to be getting out of the case, is what I was told, and it actually does work. It gives you like slightly the bigger picture. So I start the morning off with a quick overview of the syllabus, so that guides me to where I need to go in the actual book, like the page numbers and everything like that. And then I will just go ahead and flip and go to the first case that we are going to be talking about. Today, I don't think we're doing any type of review for the other ones because we ended that yesterday, but this is the first case for today. And you know, I already said in the last video that I do book brief instead of doing full case briefs like I used to when I first started law school, because full case briefs just don't work for me anymore, and they're very time consuming with very little reward. So I have notes and I have highlights, and obviously I read it very thoroughly, so I remember this case, but I will be going over it and just reviewing it just a little bit, just to refresh my memory before class begins. Then I go ahead and just prep like my tabs for the day. So this is my lecture notes. Since I don't have full case briefs on my iPad anymore, I don't have it like as 2 tabs, which is actually pretty nice. I just have this in the book. So this is my notes, and they've been making so much more sense since the second week of class. I'm so happy because the first week of class was a mess. But this is my notes, and I just have them ready. I might go over them a little bit just to refresh on what we talked about, but usually he does a little overview. And then we have this reading for today also, but I'll probably just split the screen just like that. So I have that reading there because I think he's going to start talking about it pretty soon in the class. And then I have it, and it looks like that. And it's just my favorite thing ever. I love this iPad. I love it so much. It's my smartest purchase I've ever made in my life. And then a little supplement to my review, I use this also when I take notes, which I did not mention in the last video, but I like to go over canned brief before I actually go into the reading, before I read over the weekend. and that's usually just so I don't run around just lost like a chicken with my head cut off trying to look for things, and then I find the wrong like rule, the wrong problem. This just really helped to guide me. I know that older students who use it just simply just use like Quimby or LexisNexis. I am not that comfortable yet, so I use it as a supplement to my reading. I still do my reading all the way through. This just really helped as a supplement, and it was really helpful in the mornings because for almost all of the cases they have these little videos, and I use that as my review when I'm like making coffee or making breakfast or taking my vitamins. I like to watch the videos as like a little podcast, and it refreshes my memory of the case. Sometimes they'll say things that are new, usually not, because I watch them also when I'm reading just so to make sure I'm catching every single thing. But I like to watch it, and it's kind of fun. It's a little fun. They have cute little icons. I get to walk around, listen to it like a podcast, and it's really helpful. I would really recommend Quimby or LexisNexis if you're also a law student. Not Quimby doesn't come for free, but LexisNexis does come for free. So it's a really great tool, and it really helps. Since I discovered this, gosh, what a view. I missed this view so much over the last couple days when I was gone. Just got out of my criminal law class, and I just spent the last couple of minutes just reorganizing my notes. I usually don't have to do that. Usually they just kind of end up looking like kind of pretty, but today he did a little review for the section we just finished, which was the actus rea, the act element of a crime, and he like went through the entire thing, and he kind of just gave us a really good push on how he wants us to do the outline. Outlines are basically kind of like study guides, and you use it at the end of the semester for your test. So it can range from like 20 pages to, I've heard that people have had like 100 pages of an outline. And because all of my tests this quarter are open book, open notes, I think untimed, you can have your outline with you. So he actually really helped us here by telling us, what he wants us to do and how he thinks that we should organize it. And I thought it was really important. He did deal kind of fast though, so this did not look like this a couple of seconds ago. It looked like a hot mess. It was kind of like everywhere. And because I wanted to make sure that I knew, like I could look back on this and know what the heck was going on, I had to fix it right away instead of waiting till the end of all of my classes. So I just went and organized it. Not gonna lie, I would really like some coffee right now, maybe a nice matcha. And like I said, there is a coffee shop down the street. It's 6 minutes away, but it is 7:40 and my next class starts at 7:55, and that's my civil procedures class, and I kind of have to go through the exact same process as I did this morning, which is reviewing Quimby videos, looking over all of the cases that we're probably going to go today, and just making sure that my mind is fresh. It doesn't take me too long, but because there is this short amount of time, I just don't have the time to drive down and get the coffee and whatever. We'll probably do it after this class, but I'm gonna start doing that right now, just prepping. I really enjoyed the last class. Actually, it went really fast. We only focused on one case the entire class period, which is nice because if you watch the last video, I said that he's one of the professors that did not tell us what cases we were supposed to read up to, so I kind of just read, and I was hoping that I read enough, and I did, so that's good. At least I didn't get called on something that I did not read. So I'm gonna go ahead and review and then get ready for class.
77 decision in Pinoyer versus Neff acknowledged 3 types of personal jurisdiction.
I don't know what it is about that class that just brings out all the yawns. I feel so bad because I know you can probably see me yawning, but I'm so tired. I don't know what it is about that class. And then I think maybe it's because it's civil procedure, and then we started getting into some complicated matter about general jurisdiction, and I was just kind of like, huh? What's going on? Like, I thought I knew what was going on when I came in, and then you start talking, and then I just got confused. So anyway, I'm gonna go grab some coffee because I feel tired and I have some things to do while I have this 3-hour break between this last class that just ended. It's about 9:28, and then my next class is at 12:35. So that's my contract class. have a pretty nice decent break. Sometimes I take a nap. Sometimes I work out. I think right now I'm going to go grab some coffee, try and work out for maybe 30 minutes, and probably review for my contracts class today. So we're gonna get started. I feel so tired. First things first, gotta make sure the deers have their breakfast because they eat a lot, and I don't want to leave and they have nothing. Yeah, they have nothing this morning, so let's get them some food. So I just finished doing my yoga, a nice little gratitude yoga flow. I was driving from the coffee shop and just looking at the forest and looking at just like the water and just this entire place, and I just felt so grateful to be here and taking up space here that I just knew I had to do some yoga today. But I just finished all that. I'm about to start reviewing. I do have a schedule, as some of you guys who are regulars on this channel, you know, I got the planner for my iPad. I do plan out things that I want to do during the day, but one of the things that I promised myself I wouldn't do again that I did the first week of law school, or I attempted to do the first week of law school, was over plan and being too strict with my schedule to my detriment, because obviously I have things that I want to do throughout the day, but it's not that good for me, at least, to have everything just planned and just like stuck there. I mean, my personality in general, I am a control freak. I'm trying to like work on that, and so I really try. Sometimes I resort back to just like planning everything, putting everything in perfect little time slots, and it's just like it doesn't work. And I'm just trying to do it when it's flexible. Like, I have things I would like to do. Like today I was supposed to, on my schedule, I would have liked to, you know, do a strength training workout, but I just didn't feel like doing a strength training workout today. I wanted to do a nice little yoga flow, and I did that, and I didn't feel bad about doing that. And I think that's something that as one else we can really work on, is just being one, just going easy on ourselves, giving ourselves credit, and also trying to relax as much as possible whenever we can, not to be too strict, because law school is already strict and there's already so much expectations there. It just relax on the self expectations, not put them too high. But I have about an hour before my next class starts, and it's my contract class, and usually I review maybe 15 to 20, maybe 30 minutes before the class starts. But because this class isn't like my other two classes, this one is actually very much like what you would expect cold calling to be. For those who know, it's like the Socratic method, where he's just calling random people and there's no type of order to it. My other past two classes, there is an order, like they have a list. My civil procedure has a panel of people, and I'm on the 12th panel, so I haven't been on call yet, but I have volunteered. My first class is basically like I want to say like 96% is basically like volunteering, which is awesome because I volunteer maybe once or twice, and then out of respect for my classmates, I don't volunteer anymore so that other people can speak, which is law school etiquette. Do not waste your classmates' time by asking irrelevant questions and making up irrelevant hypotheticals. No one cares. Go to office hours. Go to office hours. Anyway, for this specific contracts class though, he is absolutely terrifying. Like, great teacher, so smart, so smart. I'm getting a great education, but he is so scary. So I'm gonna review, because for the past couple of 2 weeks, this is the third week, I have not been called, and it's randomized. So I feel like I have a little tingling in the back of my spine that is telling me my time is almost up. So I want to make sure that I know what's going on, because the way that he calls is random, and then he doesn't call like a bunch of people randomly throughout the class. He calls on about 3 to 4 people and you're on call for the entire class, and he will come back to you with random questions about the reading and random questions about the hypotheticals, and just it's a lot of things, and it makes me scary, and I can feel it in my bones that it's almost me, and it's almost my day in court, and I just want to reread, make sure everything's all good, make sure I really really got everything. He did tell us to skim some reading, and I did skim, but now I'm thinking I should read it because I don't trust him. I'm just gonna go ahead and read it, and we'll go from there. Here comes the part of reviewing, the most important part of my reviewing, where I talk to myself the entire time for about 40 minutes and totally seem crazy as hell, but it works. It really works. Try and like read it and then relate it to terms that you can understand it better in, so you can actually understand what the heck is going on. So a lot of my notes I will not be able to like show to a professor because they are not appropriate. Sometimes they're just not appropriate. There's slang here. There's, I think for one of my notes I put like a little TikTok reference because I was like, the trial court in this case is just, it's like next caller, and you know what, I remember what case that is because I put that there. So it's just like, that's a little fun tip. It makes it a lot funner too to read it if I can just relate it back to the way that I would normally speak. I also need to go to the car soon and get my restatement book because he always asks about it and I never have it out, so I'm gonna go and grab it because I bought it, so I should use it. Let me go ahead and grab that, and then we're gonna get ready for actual class. Last class of the day.
That does benefit from normative analysis. And as we move away from Haber versus Sidwell, desirability of these different formulations of the consideration requirement.
Hi, Cricket. Thank you for hanging out with me during contracts. Thank you for hanging out with me. Oh, you're so cute.
The mountains are so smoky from all of the fires that are happening literally everywhere right now. And really have to say special thanks and just gratefulness to the planet because we really are putting her through some shit right now. And she's just trying to help us. It's just so foggy, it makes me so sad. Class just finished and we are all kind of in the group me like that was a rough class period. It was rough. They had us in the first half, then they had us in the middle, and then he really did have us in the end too, like the entire time. It's almost like every single time I feel like I come into the class thinking I know the material, and then he'll say a couple things and then I'm like, wait, what? And then I'll think I know it again, and then he'll say something else and I'm just like, wait, what? Hold on. So I think this is just the way of law school, especially the first year, is what I am understanding. I definitely have to go to office hours just because this specific section is not really confusing. Actually, it might be a little confusing after this class because there's a lot of cases we're talking about consideration in contracts. For any of my fellow 1Ls, we're talking about consideration, and there's a lot of cases that are just kind of conflicting. Like they all seem very similar, but the way the courts rule it is different. So it's just kind of like, what's the difference between this case and this case? Like what makes it very different? And obviously we asked him the question, but he was like, that's what we're trying to find out, isn't it? And I'm like, damn, okay, I guess you're not gonna answer it just yet. I already went to office hours, like my time of office hours with this specific professor for contracts. My time is Wednesdays, so I went yesterday and mostly we talked about another doctrine, other papers, because we hadn't had this class yet, obviously. So I need to go Wednesday and he will be talking about it again. And usually I was scared to go to office hours the first week because it's not like you can walk into the classroom or near like the class and see if there's a line and see if there's gonna be people there with you. Here it's kind of like you just log into Zoom, and if you happen to be the only one there with your professor, you are the only one there with your professor. And it was kind of scary at first, but now I really don't care. Even if I don't have a question, I just go anyway for every single one of my classes. Since week 2, I just go and I sit in office hours and I hear what the other students are asking, and most of the time they ask really great questions and I may not even know that I wanted to know the answer to that, and it's just really helpful. But like I said in another previous video, what your professor says is king. That is the rule basically in law school. It doesn't matter what kind of like the cases say, it doesn't matter what the supplements say, what your professor says is king. It rules everything. I'm going to check my supplements with this specific section and then obviously go back to office hours on Wednesday and double check every single thing. But that was a rough class. I didn't get called on though. I did not get called on. I did not get cold called, especially on that one little thing we're supposed to skim, but it was 40 pages of skimming but on top of the other work. Sir, get it together. Before my day ends, because I thought my day ended, but I checked my schedule and I have things to do. So I have one assignment due tomorrow morning and I'm just gonna do it today. In my writing and research class, in the last vlog, I showed that I submitted my first legal office memo draft. Once I get that back, I will let you guys know how it goes. Right now, for the next 2-ish weeks, we're switching from the writing portion of the class to the research portion of the class, where we're just being introduced to all the research databases that real lawyers use in their day-to-day in the field. So things like Westlaw, Bloomberg, and also LexisNexis. So what they're trying to do, what we're doing, is trying to understand all of these databases and how to use them for effective research when it comes to things like case briefing or writing legal memos. They had us like read a case about a lawyer or an attorney, a practicing attorney, who basically was found guilty or convicted because he did not do adequate research and he instructed his client not in the right way, wrongfully. He didn't instruct his client well because he didn't do his research. I think they were just trying to scare us. It kind of worked. I'm going to put my all in this. This portion of the class is not graded. Like the writing portion is definitely 100% graded. This portion is not graded, but obviously it's important that I learn how to do this stuff. It's basically a navigation exercise and there's a bunch of questions on the different websites that they want us to get really proficient at learning how to use, which is Westlaw, like I said. Also finding a case by citation, finding a case by party name, and there's like some questions and I'm just supposed to answer them in this Google Doc and then submit the Google Doc before tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna do that right now. I'm a little bit not scared for when I have to do research, but it's definitely a lot of databases. There's a lot going on and I just need to, I don't know, maybe watch some videos. I'm more of a visual learner, so like having just like the directions in like words doesn't really do much for me. That's probably why it took me so long. I would have preferred like, I don't know, screenshots or something. I just like to learn visually. So research is going to take some time. I can see why people say that it does take time and it does sneak up on you, the amount of time that it takes to do the research and the writing class and the research and writing portion, just because it seems like it's not a lot and then it just all comes at once. Just submitted my assignment. That's the only thing that I had to do today. For the rest of my Thursdays, I don't do anything because my reading and just note-taking begins Friday and then ends Sunday to start classes Monday and blah, blah, blah. So I am gonna use the rest of today to just do whatever I wanna do. I already went into my planner and fixed what I wanted to do this weekend because usually, obviously, Fridays I start my reading. Given some of the things that we went over in classes today, for almost all of my classes, we ended specific chapters. Like for criminal law, we ended the actus rea portion, and then he went over the little review. So I want to kind of start a flexible outline for myself because he helped a lot. I think it will help to just kind of put that down where it needs to be. I think for also my contracts class, for the overview portion, I might go in and start inputting some things in an outline because he also said that he wants us to look at some theories about contracting and then fit the cases with the theories, and I just want to make sure I go back and I do that. I don't think I need to do much for my civil procedure, so that is going to be done on top of my readings as the weekend goes. But I have drank or eaten nothing all day except for this coffee, which is a bad thing about coffee, is it takes your appetite away. It is almost like 3 p.m. and I have not eaten anything except for this and some peanut butter. So with that said, that is going to be the end of this video, the end of my morning routine, and we're ending at 3. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it helped someone, I guess, and thank you for watching. Thank you for spending this time with me, spending however long this video is with me. I really appreciate it. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.